thank you for joining us today for an exciting journey into the future of fine living here at Crystal Rivers. I'm delighted to invite you all from North America and any other part of the world that you're joining us from to see what we have to offer here at Crystal Rivers. And today we're going to take an exploration to see what Crystal Rivers has to offer, looking at the financial dimensions, how the real estate development has been put together from start to finish, and more importantly, also explore what is involved in areas such as the financial inputs, mortgage plans, and also the legal dimension in terms of what it takes to get a title and own a space here today. And we're delighted to take you on this journey with our panelists, who would like to introduce themselves shortly. And we'll start off with you. Judy, please introduce yourself.
Good morning, good evening, from where you're joining us from. My name is Judy Mwirure, Sales and Marketing Lead, Crystal Rivers.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Winnie Kanini from Stanbic Bank, Kenya. I head up private banking.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name is Judy Modhoni Kabubu. I'm an advocate of the High Court of Kenya, and I work for Modhaura, Mugambi, Ayugi, and Jonjo Advocates, that is MAN Advocates, and we are the legal advisors for the project.
Thank you so much, Judy, Winnie, and Judy again. And I think before we start our conversation, I would like us to just have a quick look at what Crystal Rivers has to offer, and a short video that is going to give all of you an understanding of what exactly is on offer at Crystal Rivers.
There's so much more to life at Crystal Rivers Residences. A bouquet of 3-bedroom apartments, which come with an array of amenities, such as ample parking area per unit, a swimming pool, spacious lounge area, a dining zone, inbuilt wardrobes in the 3 bedrooms, including a spacious master bedroom with a walk-in shower and restroom. For more details, call us on 0758 503 015. Crystal Rivers, the future of fine living.
Hi dear, nimefika kwa restaurant.
Order the finest wine and buffet food. Nakuja kulipa. Wacha kwanza nichukue rent. My love is telling us, what is happening?
We're moving out to the future of fine living, to our own 3-bedroom apartment at 50K.
Bas! Na hiyo deposit, jilipe na rent, eh?
Hello?
Total bill is coming to 25K.
Crystal Rivers Residences. Gated community apartments adjacent to the Nairobi Expressway. The future of fine living. 3 bedrooms with master en suites, multiple in-house and community amenities. You and your loved ones will experience fine living. Furusha your landlord with our special offer of 50K per month. Bus. Crystal Rivers, the future of fine living.
So I hope you got a sense of what Crystal Rivers has on offer in terms of the investment opportunity it presents to you, our audience coming from the Diaspora. And maybe now we can get into our conversation to really sort of dig into the details and, more importantly, to appreciate the investment opportunity that Crystal Rivers presents. I'd like to start off with you, Judy. Maybe you can tell us why do you think for our Diaspora audience this is a great investment opportunity?
Thank you, Moses. First of all, Crystal Rivers is such a perfect investment opportunity because, one, it's the location. It's located on the road. You can access it very easily through the expressway from Westlands all the way to Athi River, 25 minutes. And also the amenities that surround it, what it comes with. And most importantly, also the price. 6.5 million for an apartment right on the road.
How much is that in US dollars?
That currently would be
About 34,000.
34,000 USD.
About 34,000 US, yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, with our fluctuations with the Kenyan shilling, I think that's a key consideration. Yeah. Winnie, what about you? What would you say is really interesting, again, coming from Stanbic's point of view with regards to Crystal Rivers?
Well, I think what is really exciting is the fact that we've been able to partner with Kenya Mortgage Financing Company as a bank to finance the end user. And what is interesting is that we are one of the very few that can give our customer base a fixed rate, meaning to say that you take it at 9.5 and it is 9.5 through to the end of the loan. So irrespective of the economic environment that we could find ourselves in, it does not change. Secondly, it's a whole 20 years. you have 20 years to repay. You can choose to repay earlier, nobody stops you, but you have a whole 20 years to make sure that you complete your payment. And then thirdly, we give you up to 95% of the value of this property. So you'll probably just be contributing 5% and then plus the legal fees. And that makes it pretty easy for anybody who is interested in investing to be able to invest here.
And correct me if I'm wrong, that means this is a very unique proposition that Stanbic has put together, yes?
Absolutely. If you look at the current market prices for mortgages, I think we are staggering from around 13 to all the way up to 19%. So to imagine that you can get a 9.5% offer, if you do convert it, because most of our audience currently is outside of the country in the diaspora, and if you are particularly to take a US dollar currency as for the conversion, it means that you'll only be paying $497 per month.
497?
Yes. Per
Only?
month. Yes, only.
And imagine for somebody in diaspora, that probably is quite fair, right?
Absolutely. And think about it right now with the depreciation in the Kenya shilling. How much are we talking about? I mean, it's pretty affordable.
It's incredible.
Yes.
And maybe, Judy, you can take us through some of the legal perspectives in terms of why this is a great investment opportunity for our diaspora.
So I have been in real estate, legal real estate, let's say for about 14 years.
Okay.
I've represented both purchasers and sellers, wide range. But this is one of the projects that I've been involved in that every single legal consideration has been taken into place from the minute they broke ground. So initially it was 25 acres, then they decided to subdivide, do fast change of use, subdivide, taking into account all the legal considerations as we go through. And as the law changed, so the law changed sometime in 2020 with the introduction of sectional titles.
Yes.
The project changed with the law, such that now when you buy a unit now actually currently, and we take you through the legal process, which I'm sure we'll do sometime during this webinar. After we've taken you through that and we do the registration, you get your own title per unit. You're not tied to all other purchasers. You're not tied to the seller at any one point. You get your own title. You're able to transfer it. You're able to charge it. We've done quite a few with Stanbic. So that is the biggest consideration that the seller, Safaricom Staff Pension Scheme, has made legally in this particular project. They've taken care of all legal considerations. We have all the documentations in place, titles for each and every single unit. Currently, we are at about 100 already transferred to purchasers.
Over 100 already?
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Fantastic. And again, maybe you can just expand a little bit on these sectional titles. How do those work exactly?
So sectional titles ideally works just like any other title. For such a project, what used to happen is you used to get a lease document, that is your title, but it used to be tied to the mother title. So there was one title for the whole land, then each unit holder gets a lease and it's registered against the mother title. The difference now is you get your own title, can charge it, you're in control of your own land rent because you still have to pay land rent, you're in control of your own land rates, and you can sell, charge without needing any consent from the seller or from the management company.
So literally you can handle it in the way that normally a typical title would work.
Yes.
And this really means that it's a full ownership, full control in a way that maybe wasn't possible in the past.
Yes, yes. And let me just add, right now there is a scramble for developments to move to sectional titles because the government wants people to move to sectional titles. So the fact that this particular developer has already done that for you, that process, which also takes some time. It took us almost 9 months to do it. It takes a considerable amount of time, but now that we have, the process is seamless. We transfer, we charge if you're being charged at the bank, and we give the bank the title, or we give you your title if you're a cash buyer. And
it works perfectly. Yes. Sorry, for audience, I completely forgot to mention this, but we're actually sitting in one of the lovely 3-bedroom apartments here at Crystal Rivers. So what you're seeing here is the opportunity to invest in this beautiful looking space. You can see this well built, well furnished, and well presented. And this is exactly what you can expect if you invest in Crystal Rivers. I'd like to come back to you, Judy. And I know you've been dealing a lot, of course, with me handling a lot of the digital marketing activities. You're handling a lot of the sales. And I know you've been dealing with a lot of the Diaspora buyers of Crystal Rivers. Can you share with us some of the perspectives you've gotten from them? What are the things that are important to our audience, given they're part of the Diaspora? And how can we ensure that they have, all the questions or concerns they have from that perspective are dealt with when they handle or rather work with you on their sales?
Okay. One of the things I've seen that they have really appreciated is what Crystal Rivers has to offer as a gated community in terms of what makes it valuable. First of all, we have a mall which is up and running. Chandarana Supermarket is the anchor tenant, and we also have other shops, eateries, pharmacies, a water shop, cosmetic, and all that already up and running. So this brings very good flow into this community. And this is one of the biggest actually attractions, to just have that convenience of walking from your house to the mall. You don't have to drive. You just walk, shop, and walk back, because it's part of this community. Has been such a big advantage, and it has pulled in the diaspora also to have interest in this community. Apart from that, our community has a swimming pool, we have a biodigester, we have a backup generator, so in case the lights go off, our lifts, which we have, are powered. The lighting, the street lightings at night are powered. So security here is also very key, and it's something that, it's a big deal to everyone. You want to feel like you live in a safe community. Most importantly, also, we do have an in-house school called Diamond Junior, where now your kids, between the younger kids up to, they can attend kindergarten to grade 3. They can just walk again. They don't have to leave the compound to access this school, which offers such a good curriculum and is ICT based. So these are some of the things that also attract investors, because these things in this community has made the ROI also for this apartments and houses go up, and it's such a good investment opportunity and project.
Yeah, I think there's something that maybe you said that I don't know that was fully appreciated. You said that there are lifts that are fully operational. Like, I think we came into this particular one and I didn't have to walk up the steps. I just took the lift and went up. It's not very common in a property of this type, is it?
No, actually, especially if you have only 5 floors high, a lot of people would be like, it's only five floors, so why do you need a lift? But here we do have a lift, and also each apartment has a solar water heating system. So during the day, the water is hot. In the evening, you don't need to you have ready water in the kitchen, in the bathroom, and all that. In terms of when a diaspora client wants to buy, how do we make it easier for them, for considering that they're not here? So we do walkthroughs with them, video walkthroughs. We help them select units through walking them, WhatsApp videos and all that.
Yes.
We showcase what we have. We really assist them in the process of selecting a unit, sending the offer letters, and the rest of the process runs through. The legal team is here. If they need the bank, we work closely with Stanbic. Everybody plays their role, and we are always in touch with them, keeping them updated on the progress of what is going on. Yeah, so that way they can feel confident to buy, even if they're not here.
Fantastic. Winnie, I'd like to come back to you. And more specifically, I think if I was sitting in the diaspora right now, I'd probably be wondering, okay, I like the opportunity. Stanbic is there giving me this. Can you walk us through that process? If I'm interested tonight and I'm ready to buy, how would I start that process with you?
I'll gladly walk you through it, yeah?
Yeah.
So if there's anything that we as Stanbic have done, is to perfect the art of digital banking. So it will surprise you that you can actually do the end-to-end process of purchasing the property without having to come to Kenya, so wherever you are, and without even having to send a relative to drop anything or any document to the bank. So how do we do this? So first we start by having an account. Now, how do you open that account? Because you're imagining I'm all the way maybe in North America. How am I going to open this account? All you need to do is to get into our website. We have a Diaspora page there. There's a link, you click, and straight away you get into the account opening process.
Okay.
You just need to have your passport, your Kenyan ID if you have it, and your telephone number, your local telephone number. Those come in pretty handy when you're trying to open the account digitally. As soon as you finish the process, which will take you about 5 minutes, in the system, then you will get a message sent to your phone, the phone that you have put in there, which will help you to be able to activate your account, and you get an account number. Once you get an account number, then you get into the next step of digital banking, where you actually set yourself up into internet banking. All these you're doing on a laptop, irrespective of what corner of the world you are in. And after you have set up yourself on digital banking, you will get an OTP that will then give you the credentials that you can be able to use. And thereafter, you're good to go. You have an account.
And then, okay. So
after the account, then obviously now we talk to, I would want to invest in Crystal Rivers. So how do I go about it?
Yeah.
We have an email on the website again that you can be able to talk to and request that somebody engages you. We have a lot of salespeople that are waiting to talk to you. They're going to guide you through what it is that you require. It will probably be your statements, it will be a letter from your employer. The only thing you'll have to do is to make sure that they are notarized out there, and then they can be sent over to us. We will do the processing, the approval, and then thereafter, when it comes to security perfection, then the law firm that is going to be dealing with it will be able to communicate to you directly and send to you the documentation that you'll need to sign. So at no point do you need to come to the country.
How long does this entire process take, if I was just to ask?
Between you getting the documentation that you require and filling in the application form that we shall send you, within a week.
So within a week, you're fully operational.
Absolutely.
You can start making your deposits, your payments, and so forth.
Actually, Moses, making your deposits is actually within 10 minutes from the time you open the account. So we've got various ways that you can fund the account. If you want to make an initial deposit, if, for example, you opened a Kenya shilling, you can use the 600, 100. A number of Kenyans out there still have their telephone, mobile phones working. And so they are able to do M-Pesa, 600, 100 pay bill, and then your account number, and you can be able to fund the account. Thereafter, if you want to send in more money, obviously you can do it through the normal channels, whether it's a SWIFT, or you can use Wave, SendWave, all those channels that fellow Kenyans have got out there that help them to bring money into the country would actually then come into play for them to be able to fund the account.
So whatever they're comfortable with, you can accommodate.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
And remember that it doesn't have to be a Kenya shilling account. It can be a US dollar account, depending on where it is that you are and what it is that you want to transact with as a currency for this particular account.
Fantastic.
Obviously, it's good to have a Kenya shilling account amidst the others, because at one point you will have to convert the money into Kenya shilling because the transactions you're doing here are going to be in Kenya shilling. Isn't it? So you will need a Kenya shilling account and any other currency that you want to save.
So if I'm sitting in South Africa in Rand, or maybe sitting in the UK in pounds, I can also use that.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. And probably most critically, Judy, as we come to you, the legal process. Can you walk us through about how that works?
Okay. I will try to do so in a short amount of time. So Judy has mentioned she first will take you a walkthrough through the unit. You select the unit that you want that is available for sale. She'll take you through signing the letter of offer. Once you've signed the letter of offer and paid the deposits, which Judy will guide you on how to pay, then she will send all documentation to me, that is the letter of offer, proof of payment, and your identification documents. From there, we will then send you directly the agreement for sale. So now, if you're abroad and maybe not thinking of coming to visit Kenya in the near future, we will guide you on how to execute the agreement for sale. It can be done through you print on your end 3 copies, have it signed, have it notarized, and then courier it back to us. Once it is back with us, we send it to the seller signs, and we will send you a soft copy having everything, the whole agreement, your part signed and the seller's part signed. Once that is complete, dependent on your payment method. So if it is through the bank now will come in with their advocates, we will correspond. And the beauty I will say with Stanbic is we tend to deal with the same advocates. So because they know the terms of the transaction, it is not a back and forth, no, do this, I want this term, I want this term. No, you just tell them, just give me the usual undertaking terms, and we're able to progress a bit faster, especially when dealing with Stanbic. Same thing with other banks, because we've dealt with other banks as well. So if you're dealing with the bank, we will get in touch with the bank's lawyers, exchange the documentation that we need. If you're paying cash, once you have paid the full purchase price, that is now when we will move to the next stage of registration. Again, you will still need to sign an instrument of transfer. We will guide you through how to sign that. After you have signed that, we will take the transfer so that the unit can be valued. It's valued. Then we send you instructions to generate a KRA payment slip.
Okay.
Yes, because you have to pay stamp duty on the transfer.
Okay.
But we give you a step-by-step from logging in up to the point at which you pay, and you're able to generate. If the money is with us, we make the payment. If you still have the money, make the payment and send to us the documents. After that, then now we will book them for registration at Machakos, whereby once the registration process is done, then your title comes out. Okay. So that is the long and the short. And just to add, we have actually completed about 5 titles of people in the diaspora without them having to come.
Fantastic. So the entire process was
the
done digitally?
The entire process has been done with them abroad. So what we do, because all documentations are in place, once the letter of offer is sent to us, we send to you the agreement and the transfer as one, so that you sign it and send it back as one package, so we don't have to keep doing the back and forth.
Wow, that's fantastic. So I think at this point we'll watch another short video on Crystal Rivers, just again to give you a flavor and a context of what it is that you're investing in, and more importantly to, I suppose, entice you to the opportunities presented by Crystal Rivers.
Hi dear, nimefika kwa restaurant.
Order the finest wine and buffet food. Nakuja kulipa. Wacha kwanza nichukue rent. My love is telling us, what is happening?
We're moving out to the future of fine living, to our own 3-bedroom apartment at 50K.
Bas. Na hiyo deposit, jilipe na rent, eh?
Hello.
Total bill is coming to 25K.
Crystal Rivers Residences. Gated community apartments adjacent to the Nairobi Expressway. The future of fine living. 3 bedrooms with master en suite, multiple in-house and community amenities. You and your loved ones will experience fine living. Furusha your landlord with our special offer of 50K per month. Bus. Crystal Rivers. The future of fine living. There's so much more to life at Crystal Rivers Residences. A bouquet of 3-bedroom apartments, which come with an array of amenities such as ample parking area per unit, a swimming pool, spacious lounge area, a dining zone, inbuilt wardrobes in the 3 bedrooms, including a spacious master bedroom with a walk-in shower and restroom. For more details, call us on 0758 503 015. Crystal Rivers, the future of fine living.
And welcome back. And once again, I hope you had a wonderful experience there seeing what Crystal Rivers has to offer. And now I think we're going to delve into some of the nuances of what makes Crystal Rivers more interesting for investors in the diaspora like yourselves. So Judy, coming back to you, I think we've heard about the many horror stories when it comes to real estate investment. People in the diaspora, things that happen that are not particularly good. Maybe you can reassure our audience about why this is a good investment opportunity from the perspective of the security and the fact that this is a real investment. It's not a off-plan. Maybe we can talk about some of those nuances.
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, this development is by very sure and reputable developer, the Safaricom staff pension scheme, and also it's a complete project. You literally buy and move in. When you come here, what you see is literally what you get. So we're not going to show you renders, and no, there's no that. It's just a complete project, which is a good thing. We already have people living in here. It's a beautiful community. When you hear the kids running around and all that, you know there's life. So why is this a good investment project? Apart from it being a complete product, it's very strategically located. Like I mentioned, there's an expressway. We're connected to the expressway. If you're landing here, it's 10 minutes from JKIA to here. So accessibility is no issue. This place, here we have ready tenants, actually, because we have a lot of demand, people who want to live here because of what the community offers. Like I mentioned before, we have a mall, we have an in-house school, we have a swimming pool, we have lifts, all this convenience within Crystal Rivers. So it makes it very, people want to be part of this community. And that's why also the ROI is very good for any investor. Yeah.
I think there's something else that you mentioned to me once, that there's a waiting list of people ready to rent owned properties. Maybe you can talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, sure. Like I mentioned, since we are only selling right now, and you find we have a lot of inquiries, people coming in, because they want to live here because of what the community offers. So we do have a waiting list. So for any buyer out there, the moment you complete your transaction, we do help you with the process of putting in a tenant, and we vet these tenants for you we vet them on your behalf, just to make sure that also we have good people living in this community.
Great. Winnie, I'd like to come back to you, and I think because you've had experience working with clients in the diaspora, investing in real estate opportunities in Kenya, what advice would you give them, things that they should consider or look out for that would make this a good transaction and a good investment experience?
Thanks, Masters. Now, the first thing they need to think about is the fact that the investor that they are working with is a quality investor. I think that really goes to count for something, especially when you're outside of the country. And secondly, it's about the journey towards ensuring that you can actually invest in this property. So how do you do it? You don't have to be pressured. Even if you're not ready immediately, we can help you get ready by ensuring that you can get an account that you can continuously save month on month. What that does is that it not only helps you to build the capital that you'll need for the 5% and the 10% or more or so that is expected for you to be able to pay the legal fees and stuff like that, but it will also inculcate in you the discipline that you require when it comes to the loan repayment. Remember, you're getting into a long-term agreement here, and it is important for you to at least have a feel of what it is that you are getting into. So once you get into that discipline, you'll find that even paying the installment is going to be pretty easy. Secondly, it's also important to realize that the kind of partner from a financing perspective that you're dealing with at Stanbic, we actually pride in growing Kenyans. In fact, our tagline is that Kenya is our home and we drive her growth. And that is why we have partnered with not only Crystal Rivers, but with KMRC to ensure that we are offering any Kenyan out there the opportunity to invest back home, which I think is something that is very dear to Kenyans that are living out there.
Fantastic. Judy, there's some regulations or changes perhaps in the legal framework when it comes to conveyancing and purchasing or investing in real estate that our diaspora audience should be aware of that could be relevant to Crystal Rivers?
So the main one, of course, is what I mentioned, sectional titles. That really is the major legislation or major law that came into place in 2020. By the way, and in that 2020, we were still selling some of the units. And with that law in mind, the vendor decided to move to the sectional titles. So that is the major consideration in terms of legislation that is there currently in place. But I think I would like to mention, especially for the diaspora community, two things that I think this project has really ensured that they have in place. One, so many people are being sold for units, land that is non-existent. Yes, but here we have a community that is live, the apartments are up and running. We've had people, there was a gentleman in Germany who bought on Monday and his father moved in on Friday. So it's that fast. So one thing, the unit is there. You can move in whenever you want to move in. Secondly, because of the sectional titles and it not being tied to the mother title, you're able to do a search. You're able to go to Machakos and do a search, and you're able to know that it is Safaricom Staff Pension Scheme that owns this particular unit. And thirdly, and I think they've mentioned it, the vendor, or rather the seller that we are dealing with, Safaricom Staff Pension Scheme, reputable. They would not want something to develop a project that would bring disrepute to their name. So it is something legitimate, it is something that has checked all the legal boxes, and it is something that you can move in whenever you want to, you or your relatives.
Fantastic. I mean, there's something you just said there that really I find profound. You said somebody bought the house on Monday,
yes,
and had moved in by Friday.
By Friday.
And the entire legal process was done in that period of time.
Yes. So the concession also that, there are two concessions the vendor has made. So long as you've paid the full legal fee, purchase price, and signed an agreement for sale, they'll allow you to move in while we undertake the registration process, because it is a process. Then secondly, if you are in need of maybe moving in, they are allowing tenancies. So you can take up a tenancy if, again, you've signed an agreement for sale, paid a deposit, or we have a letter of offer from the bank.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Willie, I want to come back to you again. I'm thinking about experiences, or maybe some experiences you've had with Diaspora purchases coming from through Stanbic. Are there any unique experiences, that the one she just shared about the 1 week purchase, where you've been able to do something exceptional in terms of the turnaround times and so forth for some of your Diaspora customers? Do any stories come to mind?
Well, yes. I think I can think of a couple of stories that come to mind. You know, where a customer is outside the country and they're looking for a place for their parent to live. And they come to us, and yes, they've got part money, but they don't have all the money. And they're not even sure that we can be able to lend to them the money and be able to actualize what their desire is. They have an idea of where it is that they want to buy the property, but they're not sure of how to actualize it. And we work with them to an extent where once they pay the deposit, and like you have heard, there's an arrangement here that they can be allowed to move in. The customer actually moves in. So this particular parent actually moved into the house as we were actually doing the legal process. The child could not believe, because it was a daughter that was trying to relocate the parent. They could not believe that they had actually relocated the mother. And within how long? It took about 3 weeks. Yes. For the mother to be able to move in. Yes.
So that's a big opportunity, isn't it? I think people who are looking for presumably retirement homes for their older parents and so forth, that's a big possibility, yes? And you can make that a reality for them.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Yes, and just to mention in closing, we don't just constrain you to borrow using Kenya shilling. If you feel that you really want to borrow using the currency with which you're earning, maybe it's dollar or it's AUD, we can allow you to do that. The only thing is that there'll be a bit of a variance in the interest rate. It will be at 10.5, because now it ceases to become the affordable housing project. But you still can be able to own the home.
Okay.
Yes.
So as our audience, please also do ask your questions in the chat. We're happy to respond, all of us, to any questions you might have. And incidentally, we do have a question here, which I don't know whether this will go to you, Judy, or anybody. It says, what are the options for renting to own for foreigners, in brackets, non-Kenyans?
Renting to own?
Yes.
Okay.
For non-Kenyans, yeah.
Okay. Now, Unfortunately for this project, we do not do the rent to own. We don't have that option here. The payment plans that we have is either you buy cash, pay a 10% deposit and the balance within 60 days, or you take a mortgage with Stanbic at a rate of 9.5%, non-changing for the number of years you're comfortable with.
Okay. We have another question here. I'm interested in buying a unit through mortgage. Please advise on the process. I don't know that we already covered that, but maybe you can give them a short version of it again.
Yes. Yeah, so we're here to support you to be able to realize the investment that you're interested in. All you need to do is to go into our website and click in there. There is an email address there, and just write to us. We will definitely come back to you and we will be able to work with you, because there's a couple of questions we'd want to ask you, like, for example, are you in employment or are you in self-employment? Or how long have you been out there? Do you have any other loans out there? What's your credit rating like? I mean, there's a couple of things that we need to engage you around. So do write to us. I can assure you within less than 24 hours we shall have responded to you and we can kickstart the journey of you owning a unit here.
And I have another question here where they're asking us to go into the mortgage details. I don't know that you can expound on that. The mortgage details, yes.
So our mortgages stagger between 10 to 20 years. 10 years if your interest is in borrowing in a foreign currency. 20 years if you are interested in taking up the affordable housing proposition that we have. Other than you being evaluated for affordability, which means to say that if we are giving you 95% of the cost of the property, then you need to showcase that you have the 5%. On top of it, you need to have an extra about 10%, for purposes of the legal fees. We also then take you through the process of applying for the loan, in which case we give you the forms, we send the forms to you, you fill them out, you fill out detail to include where you're residing, or your employment, your employer. We get a letter from your employer, we require that. We would want to look at about 6 months of your bank statements, where you are, and would also want to do what we call CRB checks. And in every of the countries around the world, they have an equivalent of the CRB check. This is basically just to ensure that, one, you have the affordability, and then two, that you're in good standing in terms of a credit rating. Thereafter, you will give us the forms and we shall process them through our mortgage application system. It shouldn't take you more than a week for you to know whether you qualify or you don't. There could be a conversation, a to and fro conversation around maybe some things that we want clarity on. Those can happen through email. And then after that, we should be able to give you an approval. After the approval, then now we go into the security perfection detail. We send you the offer letter that you're going to execute. And of course, you're going to get a notary public to come in and help with that as well from your end. And then you send back to us. And we are also now going to advise the legal counsel that we have to now take on the security perfection process, which is where Judy comes in and our legal counsel come in.
Judy, do you want to add anything to what she said about the mortgage process from a legal standpoint? Is there anything in addition to that maybe they should know?
No.
Not really? Okay. What about from your perspective, Judy? What would you say, in line with what she has shared with us, is important for a Diaspora buyer to consider in that buying process? From the sales perspective, yes.
In terms of
just the process of the sales. I'm in Diaspora, I reach out, presumably through the website or social media, I get in touch. What are the things that maybe come to mind that are important for our Diaspora audience?
All right, we'll share all the details. We'll share videos of the property. We'll provide all the information, the square feet, the price, the amenities. Is it an all-in-suite house? Okay, for example, like this apartment, apartments are just all master and suite. Sorry. So we'll break down all the details of the house or the apartment, and then we share videos, prices, payment plans, and then now we connect them to the financier if they're going the mortgage way. And if it's the cash way, it's very direct. They will just make a 10% deposit. We share the offer letters, and from there we kickstart.
Fantastic. So I don't know whether we have any more questions coming from yourselves. Would love to hear from you if you have any more questions. I think there is a question here. Can a non-Kenyan buy using mortgage?
Yes.
That is also possible.
Yes, it's possible, so long as you have the residence permit.
Okay.
Yes.
Another question, maybe this is for you, Judy. There's a question here. Is it possible to have a chat to the person who's already purchased and received a sectional title? I guess this is for the reassurance or the confidence. I'm sure this can be made possible to you.
Yes, we can do that.
Yeah.
We have enough clients who could be happy to share their journey.
Should we give them maybe the email address or the phone number that they can reach you on for that?
They can write to us at sales@crystalrivers.co.ke. We can pick it up and we can make some introductions.
Okay. It feels like we're almost, I see there's more here. Who's executing the service fee, and do the owners have a say in this at the moment? I think this is probably the service charge.
Yes, that's the service charge.
Yes.
Judy.
So at the moment, service charge is only payable by either if you've taken up a tenancy or if you have been entitled to full occupation. Full occupation, of course, is once you've paid the full purchase price and any other costs. For the units that have not achieved that, it is the developer that is meeting that cost.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
And maybe you can clarify what they're getting for the service charge in this particular location?
Yeah, okay. Once you pay the service charge, it covers for security, garbage collection, maintenance, lift maintenance, the generator maintenance, common area maintenance, our walkways, the greenery that we have, the street lighting, what else?
The boulevard.
The swimming pool, the maintenance
the
of the
swimming
pool, the heating systems, and play area, all the externals. Yeah.
Great. And but then if you do come to Crystal Rivers, many of you, I believe, will be coming for the holidays. I would encourage you to have a chance to come here and see how beautiful it is. The gardens, the way it's maintained, it's clean, it's well presented. And I'm sure you'd love to see how this is done if you have a chance. So it feels to me, unless we have any more questions, we seem to be coming to the end of this conversation. And I'd like to give our panelists an opportunity to give us maybe their parting shots, their last remarks with regards to Crystal Rivers, starting off with you, Judy.
All right. So Crystal Rivers is the future of fine living.
Absolutely.
And this should be your number one and your number one choice of an investment product along Mombasa Road. Actually, it's the only mixed-use development along Mombasa Road. So, like you've heard, we have everything in this community. You don't have to go outside to get anything. So this is a complete project, and we ask you to come. We are open. We have a site office which is open Monday to Saturday, 9 to 5, and on Sundays from 10 to 5. We are here. We'll give you a tour, and we'll help you with the selection and the rest of the journey of owning a home in Crystal Rivers.
Thank you, Judy. Winnie?
Okay, so Stanbic Bank, our tagline is Kenya is our home, we drive her growth. Please don't hesitate. Talk to us. We will make your dreams come true, because that's why we are here. That's our purpose. Feel free and start now. Today is the right time. Thank you.
Thank you, Winnie. And Judy?
So parting shot. I don't know whether to say run or walk or make your way here. The units left are very few. Very few. I don't know if I can say how many. There are very few. There are very few left. If already we have done 100 titles, let's say 50 more in the works, maybe like 50 more already in the process, the units left are very, very few. So take this time if you're coming over the December holidays, like Moses said, come take a tour. If you cannot make it, send a relative. If still you can't send a relative, contact Judy. She will sort you and ensure that she has given you a tour, and we will take you through the process seamlessly from letter of offer up to when you obtain your section or title.
Thank you, Judy, Winnie, Judy. It's been a pleasure. And coming back to our audience, I think you've heard it all. This is Crystal Rivers. Go to crystalrivers.co.ke to get as much information as you need. Also visit us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn, where we're constantly updating those social media pages with information on what's on offer. You've heard it here in terms of what is available. It is an amazing development. We have swimming pool, we have well-maintained facilities, we have lifts, even in the 3-bedroom apartment towers. Pretty much anything you can imagine. Of course, with a supermarket, access to the expressway, and more importantly, just really high-quality infrastructure with a great investor who did this development, which is the Safaricom Staff Pension Scheme. You can rest assured that this is a good investment for you and your family. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we hope that we'll see you at Crystal Rivers to have an opportunity to invest in the future of fine living.
Hi dear, nimefika kwa restaurant.
Order the finest wine and buffet food. Nakuja kulipa. Wacha kwanza nichukue rent. My love is telling us, what is happening?
We're moving out to the future of fine living, to our own 3-bedroom apartment at 50K. Pass.
Na hiyo deposit jilipe nayo rent, eh?
Hello?
Total bill is coming to 25K.
Crystal Rivers Residences. Gated community apartments adjacent to the Nairobi Expressway. The future of fine living. 3 bedrooms with master en suites, multiple in-house and community amenities. You and your loved ones will experience fine living. Furusha your landlord with our special offer of 50K per month. Bus. Crystal Rivers. The future of fine living. There's so much more to life at Crystal Rivers Residences. A bouquet of 3-bedroom apartments, which come with an array of amenities such as ample parking area per unit, a swimming pool, spacious lounge area, a dining zone, inbuilt wardrobes in the 3 bedrooms, including a spacious master bedroom with a walk-in shower and restroom. For more details, call us on 0758 503 015. Crystal Rivers, the future of fine living.